This is your Monday Night Raw review in about 3 minutes for the December 9th, 2024 edition. We started off the show with Gunther in the ring, but was quickly interrupted by the Judgment Day. Balor and Gunther would trade barbs back and forth with each other before we saw Damian Priest show up and a huge brawl began. All three men would fight each other, but it would be Finn Balor in the end who got the last laugh, as he would hit not one, not two, but three coup de grace on Damian Priest, and then he would pick up Gunther's World Heavyweight title, hold it high above his head, mocking Gunther. But backstage we go when we find out, thanks to the actions of the Judgment Day, Finn Balor now has an extra person in that World Heavyweight title match this Saturday at Saturday night's main event, as it will be Gunther, Priest, and Balor fighting over the World Heavyweight title. Big W. We then got the Wyatt Six versus The Miz in the Final Testament, and shockingly, the Final Testament beats the Wyatt Six after Paul Ellering blinded Uncle Howdy with some sort of powder, and I can't believe I'm saying it, but yeah, the Final Testament beat the Wyatt Six. What? We then got a sit-down interview with CM Punk and Jackie Redmond, where Punk reveals that he sees himself as the quarterback one of WWE, and that Seth Rollins was just holding his spot down. He's a second-string QB, and Punk is back for his job. Take a seat on the bench, bud. We then got Liv Morgan versus Dakota Kai in what was slightly an overbooked match, as PFC would be on the outside of the ring, causing a bunch of distractions for Dakota Kai and allowing Liv Morgan to pick up a pretty easy win. But we'd go down to the ring where Seth Rollins would respond to CM Punk, and he mentioned that CM Punk, when he left the WWE, ghosted everyone that was in WWE, and if you still worked for WWE, you were considered a villain to CM Punk. But then Sami Zayn would interrupt once again, but it wasn't to call him out, it was to apologize for his actions last week. Seth accepts his apology, but then Sami Zayn turns his attention toward Drew McIntyre. Sami calls out Drew and announces that he has a match set this Saturday at Saturday night's main event, and then Drew McIntyre would jump Sami Zayn as he was trying to leave the ringside area. Next up was Lyra Valkyria versus Ivy Nile versus Zelina Vega in what was a very fun match. But in the end, we would see Lyra Valkyria advance in the Women's IC Championship tournament after picking up a great win. She looked so good in this match. But man, you gotta feel for Zelina Vega. And then something happened that I never thought would. The New Day were booed out of the building. Chants of Big E. New Day sucks. Chants, what is this, 2015? The New Day legitimately couldn't get a word out as they put the microphones down, left the arena, and said, what did we do? We did nothing wrong. It's actually so insane to see the New Day get booed. And then our main event was Raquel Rodriguez versus Rhea Ripley in an anything goes match that lasted about 10 minutes. As expected, Liv Morgan would get involved, but it wouldn't be enough, as Io Sky would get retribution from earlier on in the night, as Rhea Ripley puts Raquel Rodriguez through the table with a riptide and picks up the win. The final moments of the night saw Rhea Ripley and Io Sky both lifting up the Women's World Championship. That is intriguing. Overall, a fun show with some good storyline development. I give it an 8 out of 10. But that was your Monday Night Raw review in about 3 minutes.